Lepisri Barik, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. You are the only one who has English or anybody else?
No, sir. There are two other participants, Pragya
Yeah,
and
I know.
Pramika.
I know a lady called Pinky. She is not. She has actually called me, so I will inform her. Anyway, as a, you know, I am a punctual person. I should start the class now. Okay, Pinky. I mean, Lippy. Tell me why a student should learn English. What are the advantages of learning English?
Firstly, English is rich in literature.
Hmm.
It's a royal subject, and for for a successful future, English is very important. Also, for career building, English is important. So, a
Anything else?
student must learn English.
Okay. So let me tell you something very logically, and you have to answer in that way so that the answer will be impressive.
Yes, sir.
There are 5 reasons for which one should learn English in this 21st century, especially students who are in their formative years of life. The number one thing is that English is an international language. It is understood all across India as well as all over the world. It's a linked language. Suppose you go to the southern part of India, they may not appreciate Hindi, but in the elite circle, they can understand English. That is a
Yes,
language widely accepted everywhere in the world. International and linked language, that is the number one point. And number 2 point, English is a language for career and communication. If somebody is very good in communicating English, he will go a long way in his career. Because almost all the top interviews, be it in software, be it in management, IIM, or be it in anywhere, if you speak good English and answer your questions with good English, you will get an edge over your competitors. And English is the language, as I said, if you are attempting any exam, yes, there are some vernacular mediums are allowed, but English, be it civil service, be it banking, majority of the cream of the jobs, the mode of language is English. So a good knowledge in English will help you to comprehend better and answer questions quickly. And the third point is English, as you have already said, that royal and elite language. In socialization, if you speak good English, you will be appreciated and you can rise in the ladder of stratification. That if you speak good English, you will be appreciated in any social function or gathering. I have felt it. Speaking good English gives us social prestige. People, because very few can speak good English, so speaking good English will help you in gaining the attention of the people. So it is a royal language, you have already said. And the fourth point is that this point also you have touched. It has a very rich culture and literature and history to it. If you starting from Geoffrey Chaucer to 21st century, great poets, dramatists, novelists, prose writers, all have enriched English language with their writing. Starting from Shakespeare to Charles Dickens, everybody in the annals of English literature, they have made English language one of the best, if not the best. So to know that language, even our great father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, was inspired by English literature and learned a lot from the philosophers of English. So that is another way. So you can have read those beautiful literature, dramas, and novels, having a good knowledge in English. And the next point, in this technical world, everything is available in internet, but that is not enough. if you want to be a successful blogger, writer, or you can want to Google or search any engine. First of all, you have to think in English, type accordingly. A person having sound knowledge in English will be able to search better than a person having little knowledge in English. Therefore, in this technical era, good knowledge of English will give you an edge in knowing the technology and utilizing the technology in a better way. Suppose you search something, a video in Hindi and in English, obviously in English you will have more options to explore. Even I have seen many YouTubers just copying the English version and just telecasting, broadcasting in YouTube in Hindi and getting a lot of popularity. So therefore, suppose you are hearing some commentary in English and in Hindi, obviously the English, the native people analyze in a better way. With due respect to our Hindi commentators, but I can safely say English is better to hear, provided you understand it. So it is a language for entertainment and technology, right? So all these points, if you say, definitely a student will fall in love with learning English, right?
Yes, sir.
These are the points I hope both of you remember. So now I will test some of your grammatical knowledge before I move to program. So
Yes,
let me tell me. I am telling a sentence. You tell me whether it is true or false.
yes, sir.
I saw a lot of people.
Sir, I could not hear it.
I saw a lot of people.
Hmm.
No, this I'm just changing the question. The commander with all his soldiers are defeated in the battle. It is correct or false?
Wrong, sir.
What is the right answer?
The commander with all his soldiers, each.
Very good. Another sentence I am telling. He is one of the students who has done well in the examination. He is one of the students who has done well in the examination.
I think it's correct, sir.
No. If you look at the word students preceding the, it is called antecedent. It is preceded before the relative pronoun. Though he is in singular now, but in subject-verb agreement, if a verb comes after relative pronoun, it agrees with its antecedent. Antecedent means the word which just precedes the relative pronoun. So as the word precedes the relative pronoun is students, because after one of the we use plural form pronoun, he is one of the students who had done well in the examination.
Examination. Right? Yes.
These two questions on subject verb agreement. Another question from verb I am asking you. What is the difference between an auxiliary verb and modal auxiliary verb and primary auxiliary verb? Basic difference.
Sir, primary auxiliary verb are there are a main verb and modal verb. The primary verbs are be, have, and do, and there are 13 modal verbs in English. They are will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, ought to, need to, and used to, and must.
Okay. So what is the basic difference in the use?
Modal verb are they give extra information about the main verb that follows.
No. Let me clarify what I am exactly looking for from you. Actually, basically, as far as the structure is concerned, the form of the verb is changed with primary auxiliary. Suppose you are using is, we use the ing form of the verb. You are using has, we are using the third form or past
Past
participle.
participle form.
If you are used do, does, or did, the first form of the verb is used. So it depends on what sort of primary auxiliary we are using. It is be verb or do verb or have. Whereas in the modal auxiliary, the form of the verb in active voice always remains the past form, irrespective of any modal auxiliary we use. Even it is must or have to, used to, may, might, whatever modal auxiliary, her form is past form. That is the most important thing as far as the difference is concerned, because after modal we always use the infinite form of the verb. That means verb always comes with the V1 form, right?
Yes, sir.
And as far as modal auxiliary concerned, it is a big chapter. We can't discuss it in this class. Every modal has different use. I have made a special video on it. If you subscribe our YouTube channel, you can search modal auxiliaries. You will have a clear idea about all the usage of all the modal auxiliaries, right?
Yes, sir.
And even on primary auxiliary also, I have made a video. So you can just look at them if you subscribe Vidyasagar Classes YouTube channel. Okay. Next question I would like to ask you some vocabulary knowledge, whether you have good word power or not. I will make a word, you have to tell its meaning, and if possible, make a sentence on it, right?
Yes, sir.
Let us start from A, vocabulary A. Adamant, A-D-A-M-A-N-T.
I don't know, sir.
What is it? You don't know. Adamant
Yes.
means rigid, not flexible. The boy is adamant for the buying a bike before his parents.
Yes, not
That's
flexible.
very, very rigid. Don't flexible. Okay, adamant.
Yeah.
Okay, another word on that same word A, agile, A-G-I-L-E.
I don't have any ideas.
Agile means active, not lazy.
Active.
Active. The students must be agile in their approach. They should not be lazy. It's the opposite of lazy. Okay.
Yes.
Fine. So, Lipesri, you need to improve your vocabulary. It seems you are a little poor.
Yes, sir.
If you look at vidyasagarenglish.com, I have made vocabulary from A to Z with all the sentences and examples. So, yes, it cannot be mastered overnight, but minimum high frequency words, the words which I have told, don't you read newspapers regularly?
No, sir.
No, that is a wrong thing. Being an English teacher, you must cultivate a habit of reading newspaper. The more you
Yes,
read,
sir.
the vocabulary will improve dramatically, because just remembering words is not easy. If you use it in day-to-day life, I am telling you, one of my strengths, big strengths, in fact, is my vocabulary. By the time I mastered a lot of vocabulary, which gave me a confidence to even set up an institute purely on English because of vocabulary knowledge. So actually, word power is the life power in English. If you have
Yes,
word,
sir.
you can conquer anybody as far as knowledge is concerned in English. So this is a request to both of you. You must develop good word power. Okay.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I would like to ask you a few questions on English literature.
Yes.
Tell me, uh, a play written by Ben Jonson.
Every man without humor.
Every man in his humor. Very good.
Every man in his humor.
In
And every
between,
man without his humor is also another play by him.
yes, yes. Also, he has written a comedy of humors also. Very good. That's fantastic answer. who has written Dr. Faustus? It's a tragedy.
Dr. Faustus.
Elizabethan age.
Sir, Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe, sir.
Very good. It is written by Christopher Marlowe. It's a
Christopher
tragical
Marlowe.
life and death of Dr. Faustus.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Professor, what do you mean by metaphor?
In metaphor is a comparison word.
Mhm.
In metaphor, comparison is made between two different objects without any comparison words in it.
Can you give me an example?
You have a flower face.
Sorry, you have a
Flower face.
actually
He is the
metaphor
vulture of our village.
by just saying one of them is the other. Yes.
Yes, sir. He is the vulture of our village.
Yes, yes. And what is a simile?
In simile, comparison is made between two different objects, but at least one common thing is there. And in simile, as, like, so these words are used.
Very good. So in literary terms, you have good knowledge. Okay. Okay, fine. I will ask more questions in the next class. Now moving to Pragya Paramita Mohanty. Pragya,
Yes, sir.
can you listen to me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pragya. Pragya, why you choose English as a subject to teach? Or English? Why you have chosen English as a career?
English is a global language. It is also a linking language, which
No, that is the importance of learning English. But when exactly you decided that I should teach English at what point of your career? I mean, from 10th or plus two, in which stage of your life you decided that I should be an English teacher?
yes, I after plus two, I decided to take English honors. As I was inspired by a few English honor students and also English teachers. Then I took English as my honors subject, and also I did my MA also in English. That is
What
why
was your special paper in English?
it was linguistics.
Linguistics.
Yes.
Okay. What do you mean by morphology in English?
Morphology is the study of words.
Very good. And what is semantics?
Semantics is a study of sentences.
No. Study of sentences syntax.
So sorry, meaning.
Meaning. Very good. And what is phonology?
Phonology is a study of sounds.
That's good. How many sounds are there in English?
20 vowels and 26 or 24. I am confused.
No, tell me
Consonant
confidently.
sounds.
Don't guess.
I
Do you
can't
know?
recall, sir.
Actually, there are 24 consonant sounds and 20 vowels.
Yes. 24 consonants, 20 vowel sounds.
7 long vowel, 5 short vowel, 8 diphthongs. That is 20 vowel sounds and 24 consonant sounds, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between a consonant sound and a vowel sound? Tell me. Very common questions.
Yes, sir, I can recall.
Yeah,
There
the
is some
basic
tongue movement. Tongue, I can recall.
in consonant sound, actually, the obstruction of airflow. Actually, when you speak from pulmonic artery, vocal cords, the air undergoes a lot of modification in consonant sound when it becomes a sound, like placive, fricative, affricates, nasal. There are lots of sounds. These are the topics. But in vowel sound, when the air comes, there is no obstruction of airflow. For example, if you say e, u, you can just say it as long as your breath permits. Whereas po, bo, you cannot just speak it, pronounce it for a long period of time, because air instantly undergoes a lot of modifications to our teeth, organs of speech, etc. Right?
Yes, yes.
That is the difference between a vowel sound and there are many vowel and consonant sounds. There are details I am not going to ask you. Now I am going to ask you some grammar questions. Pragya, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Hmm. Uh, just tell me, what is the difference between a transitive verb and an intransitive verb?
Transitive verb, when a verb accepts, action verb as an object, direct
Hmm.
object, that is called transitive verb. And
Yeah.
when there
Direct
is no
or
direct
indirect?
object, that is
Hmm.
intransitive verb.
And intransitive?
In intransitive, there is no direct object.
Actually,
So we
in
cannot.
intransitive, there is no object. So in transitive, there may be direct object or indirect object, but in intransitive, there is no object.
There is no
Can you give
object.
me two examples? One transitive verb, other is intransitive verb. Two examples can you give me?
He is playing cricket. This is example of transitive verb, and he is going to school. It is example of intransitive verb.
Correct. He is playing cricket is transitive verb. Playing what? Cricket. Yeah.
You can ask question to verb, what and to whom.
Hmm. So actually, transitive verb answers the question what or whom. He plays
Yes.
cricket. He plays what? Cricket. But intransitive verb answers the question when, where, etc. I went to Puri. I went where? Puri was gone by me, you cannot say. So intransitive verb cannot turn into passive voice, but transitive verb can turn into what? Passive voice. That is the basic difference.
Yes.
Okay, but you have answered almost correctly. But you need to be little confident in your answer. You seem to be hesitating while answering. That is a drawback, it seems. Okay.
Thank you.
Then few more grammar question I would love to ask you. Tell me, three examples of co-relative conjunction.
Either or,
Hmm?
neither nor.
Yeah.
Um,
Either or, neither nor.
sorry, I can't.
Another one. No sooner than,
No sooner. Yes. No sooner than.
hardly and scarcely when, both and, least, should, whether, or. Okay, there are many.
Yes.
When either or and neither nor is used, the verb agrees with the first subject or the second subject.
Second.
Very good. Either your brother or
Or
you
you.
have gone to the market or have gone to the market. Either your brother or you has gone to the market or have gone to the market.
Has.
No, no. You is the second. You or you
Yeah. Yes. You. You have.
have gone to the market.
Yes. Ma'am.
You know the answer, but in a state of hurry, I have already told my interview. Always cool, calm, and collected while answering. Okay, don't rushing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, still you have a sound. It seems that you have sound grammatical knowledge. Now I'm coming to test your vocabulary, word power, as I have tested from Lipis. So are you ready for it?
Yes.
Okay. I will ask you the same few words from the word A. Tell me what is the meaning of Advent? ADVENT.
Advent. It is beginning.
Yes. Can you make a sentence?
Due to the advent of COVID-19
Yes.
situation.
Brought disaster for mankind.
Yes.
The advent of rainy season brings smiles in the faces of farmers. Okay.
Yes.
Another word from that A. Atrocity. ATROCITY.
Atrocity. Is it bad situation?
No, atrocity means oppression, atyachar.
Yeah.
Atrocity of women is increasing day by day through dowry, e-pigeon, rape, etc. Right?
Yes.
Atrocity means atyachar, harassment. Okay. Final word I am going to ask you on A. Adhere. ADHERE.
Adhere to adhere.
Adhere means
Used to.
follow, speak to. He is adhering to the principles of Mahatma Gandhi. He is adhering to the principles of Sai Baba. That means when we follow someone, that is called adhere to. Actually, preposition to is followed by adhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. I am quite happy for discussing all these English questions with both of you. I will come up with more questions and more discussions in the next class. So, thank you
Sir,
for attending the class. So, would you like to ask me a few questions before I leave? Anybody
Sir.
of you?
Yes, sir. Sir, my interview is on 16th
Okay.
August. So, in which field I have to give more importance in study and
In
somebody?
English,
Yes, sir.
I think as I said, please go through the vocabulary and go through the gist of English literature. But you seem to be a very well-rounded personality. Don't worry. One thing, Lipishri, I'm telling you, in the interview, just even if you answer something wrongly, that won't be negative if you appear to be confident. If you, because everybody, you will get a chance to teach. They are looking at whether you can teach properly or not. So you must, whatever you speak, speak sweetly, fluently, and confidently. Apart from that, it's not that you haven't known anything. You have learned, you have known a lot of things. But thing is that if nobody is perfect, you have forgotten something. Vocabulary, you are little bit poor.
Yes,
So
sir.
that you focus on little bit of word power and some key issues on grammar, so that I think you can easily qualify in the interview. I am quite confident about your success and possibilities. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And Pragya, would you like to ask me a few questions?
Sir, Same question.
But I can say, Pragya, you are little, your voice is little shy. Are you afraid of me?
No.
No, be confident, because both of you are English teachers. English people are normally very confident in their speech. So in the next class, I expect both of you to be a little bit more confident. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you again for attending
Thank you,
this
sir.
class. See you in my next PI class tomorrow, in which I will address everybody. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.